How's everybody doing tonight? This is a beautiful event. Being non-Filipino, I just want to shout out the Filipino community because y'all have been beautiful to me and supporting me as an artist. So I have it's actually my favorite audience to go in front of, whether it's for the fraternities at San Jose State, the sororities at San Jose State, the beautiful ladies in the front have invited me to honor Brian. Y'all give a lot of love, and y'all have the love in the room for what you're doing for your community here and abroad. So it's always a pleasure to perform for y'all, like, for real, for real. So how many people that are of age voted in the election that we just had? Oh yeah, all right. I'm glad to see a lot of people voted. So in 2008, at the time, how old was I then? I was 23, and I was very excited about Barack Obama running for office, because before that I had voted, but I had felt kind of disenfranchised about voting. Then Barack Obama comes around, and I'm like, man, I think this dude is like for real. Like, this is someone I feel like speaks for me. And then we're here in 2012, and I feel like, particularly with youth, we were less excited. I still voted, I still wanted Obama to win, but we were a lot less excited about it. Thankfully, he did win. I was scared as hell if Mitt Romney would become our president. Who was fearful? Not that Obama is perfect, far from it, but I was fearful of Mitt Romney for sure. And so I wrote this poem called For Obama, For Us. I wrote this like the week before the election, because I wasn't sure like what was going to happen, and I was hoping that we would give Obama 4 more years, which thankfully, in my opinion, thankfully we have done. If you disagree, that's okay. 4 years ago, I felt my will moving forward. My struggle seems to be realized because you speak like me, you speak for me. I was needing to be seen. I was hiding in a cave of stress, lost without the direction to find my way to the Wizard of Oz. My potential feeling so quiet. 4 years ago, a change was going to come, and it felt like the future was screaming my name with promises that everything was going to be okay. See, 4 years ago, it was like we were collectively forcing status quos into realms where they believe hell froze over. And rainbow bumper stickers, buttons, and t-shirts became a compelling way for the unexpected anti-racist liberal white person in the making to take their place at the diversity podium. And immigrants assumed to vote Republican and be fearful of black people took a moment to share their utter glee at voting for Barack Obama and wonder where I got my chain, my buttons, my t-shirts, because they felt like they belonged to the changes we so believed in. Disenfranchised black voters came out in the thousands, right before this man like rainbows of change never assumed to happen in our lifetime, just a handful of generations after Jim Crow, after the assassinations of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and Robert Kennedy. Because 4 years ago wasn't just a presidential election, it was a necessary move for all of us who have felt unseen, undervalued, misunderstood, and unappreciated. To find and seize our place in the sun, because when social norms lock you in a box and tape it shut with marginalization, the glimpses of the sun are powerful. And I know I was hungry for somebody I could believe in. So in my youthful struggles towards full adulthood, I could believe in myself more. Because 4 years ago was the first time America felt like it belonged to me. And that can only happen when you feel like you belong. Because 4 years ago, I never wanted to forget that day. Those memories make it hard for me to move forward. I want those feelings forced into my heart forever. Because when things don't always turn out the way we dream about, it's easy to forget. Because I remember when the quiet Native American bus driver on Community Bus 65 saw me rocking one of several Barack Obama t-shirts pre-election. We bonded, and every afternoon I boarded that bus after cultural anthropology. We talked about the debates, the election, registering voters, and with his long, barely graying ponytail, I saw an activist that maybe never was becoming. And we traded Barack Obama buttons on the bus one day, and we rocked them with pride rolling down Lee Avenue. And post-election day, I was sitting at the bus stop, and he was driving the bus going the other direction. We threw the fist up knowing we were part of something, and we did it. And he hasn't driven that bus since the election 4 years ago, and I wonder what he's feeling. I remember boarding the bus that next morning, post-election, rocking an MLK Barack Obama t-shirt, and a crazy xenophobic Republican was flipping and flashing that Obama was born in Kenya, and I quietly walked to the back of the bus, refusing to let her sway the pride that I felt, that for once America felt like it finally belonged to me. And a young white guy in the back of the bus screamed out, "Damn, there's some dumb chicks on the bus today," and shot me a change to believe and look like I got you. I remember high-fiving the cashier in Whole Foods who rocked an Obama button. He said to me, "Congratulations," because his overgrown hippie swag connected to me like we did this. I'll never forget the excitement of my love with 2 strikes that had aged out of his inability to vote, and voted for the first time for Barack Obama, a president that looked like him. And the voice was from my politically unaware sister in tears because Obama was winning, and my friends Pam, Antoinette, and Andre, and how I urged them to vote, and they were all for the first time 25 plus in their texts and voicemails of tears and pride, because they went from not caring or utter disenfranchisement to feeling like who they were finally mattered. And sometimes it's hard to hold on to those memories, because 4 years ago I felt like the future was screaming my name, like Obama was a phoenix that could right all the wrongs that happened to me in the ashes. And never was that I thought he was perfect, or that he was a wizard on a yellow brick road that would transform the world with a brain, a heart, and courage. But I was hoping he would send a few houses spinning into Oz and have them come back a little more open-minded. But see, I'm here 4 years later, and I can't force the future to cooperate with all the dreams that I seized in the sun when we got Obama elected. I still hear racist jokes and attitudes on a near daily basis. That excitement that seemed to be stirring across generational, cross-racial, cross-economical background that seemed to be swelling 4 years ago was slightly forgotten. We've all been forced to examine our own responsibilities and what happens to us, and the message that Obama has forced us to take on while dealing with the pressures of being America's first black president, to the heartbreak and heart-making of a country at awkward odds. Because when I was 18, I didn't believe in voting, because I didn't feel like America belonged to me, and nobody that was supposed to speak for me made me believe in myself more. Then Obama rolled onto the scene with lawsuits, rapper endorsements, and fist pounds for the everyman, and the activists in the cave of the stresses wanted back out of me and began to believe again. 4 years ago, we acted as a change because we finally felt like America belonged to us. And you can only feel that way when you feel like you belong. And we're not as excited, we're not as moved, but I want to go for 8 and believe that 8 years can illuminate everything we thought we were becoming when we believed in forward. Thank y'all so much.